right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Anne Marie of The Art of Healing. I'm on a road trip, and guess what that means? That means I channel. And this morning, it's rather early in the morning, I'm channeling my subconscious. And it just kind of popped into my head. I'm doing a road trip, and I'm actually going to the state where my ex-husband lives. And guess who I dreamt about last night? Lo and behold. And so I know that's the domain of the subconscious, so I said, okay, let me channel my subconscious. Okay, so my subconscious is here. And if you could bear with just the same voice, let's see what kind of conversation we can have. All right, Anne Marie. So yes, I am your subconscious. The reason why we bring up your ex is because what you don't put together in your conscious mind, we put together in our mind. We put together everything that still holds a resonance. Now, your relationship with your ex holds a much less resonance than it did a few weeks ago, let's say. Every time you do a clearing, every time you heal from that relationship, the, let's say, amount of space that person's memory holds is still there, in the subconscious. And, we put it together. You may not have put it together, that you're, maybe not in this, before you went to sleep, you didn't put it in your mind that, oh, I'm going to the same state where my ex is. Consciously, you did not. But subconsciously and previously, you certainly did. And it has been a thought that has swirled around in your head. But the question for you, Anne Marie, is what do you do with that dream? We're here to poke you and prod you. We're here to deliver certain messages. We're here to bring out the boogeyman. Your conscious mind and your higher mind are different from your subconscious mind. The human incarnation has so many different centers of memory, centers of, remembrance, that you really have no idea what an extraordinary vehicle this body is that you create so haphazardly many times. This body is a spaceship. It has digital memory. It has touch memory. It has scent memory. It has emotional memory. So, what do we mean by the dream? Honey, that's up to you. You can do whatever it is that you want to do with that memory. That dream was not a traumatic dream, but it just brought something up to your consciousness, really. And it's an opportunity for you to heal that. Now, the other night you had a dream that woke you up in a panic of your dear friend, and she's having a baby, your friend's daughter having a baby, and you woke up in a panic. So why did that happen from your subconscious mind? Well, because fear dwells here in the subconscious. We have memory of fears that have happened in this incarnation, fears from the movies you've seen, from the programming you've received, that all dwells with us in the subconscious mind. And we don't have any like nefarious agenda. We're just your subconscious. We're just bringing to the surface things that you have in your mind. Just when you're going through your day-to-day and you don't necessarily realize it, it just doesn't come to the surface. Because you operate mostly in a dream. You operate consciously in a dream. So when you think about the dreams you have when you are sleeping, that's where the fun is. That's where you can play around. And that's our job. Our job is to play and to poke and to prod you and to remind you. And you know, the dream state is a magnificent, it's a magnificent time. It's where all the different aspects of your soul can do what it needs to do. And your body, the physical body, that is where it gets to rest. So don't take too much from your dream. Don't worry so much about, oh my goodness, he's still in my head. Well, guess what? He's going to be in your head for a long time. For the rest of your life, you've got kids with this guy. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Use it as an opportunity to continue to heal. Use it as an opportunity to move on. Dreams that you've had about your ex have been varied. And the past dreams about your ex have all been disturbing and brought up feelings of resentment because of the way he treated you in these dream scenarios. Well, you needed to see that. You needed to see that the illusions that your conscious mind creates were not the truth. The illusions of peace and love and joy and family and happiness were really not the truth, not all the time. And certainly not the majority of the time. But the conscious mind is so powerful that it will recreate, it will create, not recreate, it will create false memories to protect you from the truth. Well, that doesn't help you, does it? Because the truth is what sets you free. So in past dreams, he's always treated you like dirt. So yeah. Now that you have realized and you have healed that, guess what? He wasn't as nice to you as you thought. Now, you don't need to have those dreams because you have healed that part of your subconscious. It's not a matter of healing, it's a matter of processing it through, digesting it, and releasing it. You have found that you have taken off the rose-colored glasses and you have looked at his behavior in a true fashion, in a practical fashion. And the illusions that your very powerful conscious mind created have fallen by the wayside. So good for you, Anne Marie. And so this is the subconscious mind channeling through the conscious. It's a miraculous and marvelous process, and it's our pleasure to talk to you in this state. That is all. Okay, well, wasn't that interesting? Yeah, so I had a dream with my ex again, and it's what they said was absolutely true. I didn't think about it. I didn't think that I'm going to the place where my ex lives, or in the same state at least. And I didn't think about it before I went to sleep. It was the farthest thing from my mind. I had a really, really, really good healing. I took some courses with my friend Lynn, and she took me to a healing where I was able to channel some important guides, some major guides of mine. And the whole time that I was in that meditative state, I kept thinking, look at, we were specifically examining my relationship. And all I kept feeling was, look at it truthfully, look at it truthfully, look at it truthfully. And there was such a revelation. And that goes to show the power of the conscious mind to create illusion. Okay, so I was married for a very long time, 21 years together as a married couple, and then a few more trying to get shit resolved. So when I looked back on it, from the get-go, when my mind was very, very broken at the end of the marriage, and then when he got his girlfriend pregnant, that did such damage to my mind. So I created, all I did was look at the good. All I did was look at the happiness. All I did was think about all I had, everything I had. But those were just things. And in absolute reality, he was never really that loving. You know, sex was one thing, but love was another. And that's something that is so hard. I'm going to say it from my point of view, because that was hard. It's a hard thing for me to distinguish, let's say. Sex is not love. So just because you're married and you have sex all the time does not mean that there is a love relationship going on. It masks that very, very well. So when I finished this healing with Lynn, I called up an old friend of mine who was like my best friend when my family lived on Staten Island. And her son was my youngest son's best buddy. I mean, they were like second grade, K1, 2, you know, they were little kids. But they loved each other, and we were always at each other's houses, and she and I got along a lot. And I called her up, and I'm like, all right, you were there. You were in the midst of it. I mean, she used to be over, we'd be watching movies, have wine, we were really close. And I was like, what did you see? What did you see between my ex and myself? And she said, every time you accomplished something, every time you had a performance, every time you did a play, every time that you did a recital, or, you know, all the things that you did, he never was proud of you. He was always very, Anne-Marie did this. Oh yeah, she's doing another thing. And And she told me that whenever he had a performance, or whenever he had a recital, she said, what I saw you do was a lot more loving. You always praised him. You always built him up. But he never did that for you, Anne-Marie. And I was like, you know, you're right. So I got another point of view, another perspective. I got it from Spirit, then I got it from a friend. And it really dropped the illusions. It dropped the illusion. And in the Course in Miracles, it talks all the time about illusion and how we create illusions. So, I mean, I'm not a Course in Miracles scholar by any means, but I know that this is something that they talk about. So, well, all right, enough jabbering. I hope you learned something, male or female. And take care, be well. Much love. God bless you. Bye-bye.